Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. It's time for the Courthouse Tavern Case of the Week here on episode 127. Do it every time. But we're talking Steelers, Patriots. Who you got? Matt, you are a defending champion for right now, so we'll hand that over right here. And we're going to start off going right to you, Kevin Calhoun. Try and winning your belt back. Who you got?
It is my belt. And I got the Patriots. The Patriots are the better football team here. They have some impressive games on their resume. The Steelers are 5-2 against teams that are combined 15-28, and the Steelers haven't even looked good beating those teams. It's not even a contest. The Patriots are a better team. Tom Brady 6-1 in the last 7 games against the Steelers. You might look and say the Steelers have won 2. One of those games against Matt Castle, and Castle turned the ball over 5 times.
Matt, I got a feeling you're looking the other way.
Yeah, you look at this game, this is the big decision maker if the Pittsburgh Steelers are a legitimate team this year. And in order for the Pittsburgh Steelers to have a good chance against the Patriots, their offense has to show up this game. You looked at the game where the Bills played the Patriots, and the only reason they won that game is because they were able to score points. And able for the Steelers to win this, Roethlisberger has to have over 300 yards passing, and they showed a nice glimpse of that from last week against the Cardinals when Mike Wallace had that 95-yard touchdown. We need to see more of that. Get the wide receivers involved with this game. You see Emmanuel Sanders, get Antonio Brown involved. Just those short passes, I think, are just going to get more motivation for the Steelers, and I think that's going to work out for them.
Good points there. We're going to bring in first time man here, Chris Hoffman, and who you got?
I got the Patriots in this one. Like Calhoun said, they're 6-1 against the Steelers in the last 7 games they've played, and the one was Matt Castle, and that's not Tom Brady. And what you need to look at in this game here is the Patriots offense versus the Steelers defense. This Steelers defense is not the same as it usually is. They're allowing an average of 107 yards a game. That's not Pittsburgh defense. And New England does that running back by committee, and they average almost 124 yards a game. Tom Brady and the pass offense are going 350 yards a game, and they like lots of those speedy receivers that we've seen the Steelers just can't handle this year.
Can't handle the speedy receivers, but they still have number 1 pass defense in the league. Matt?
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers really haven't faced any dynamic receivers yet thus far, but I think this is going to be the real test, as we've been saying. Ike Taylor did a good job of shutting down Larry Fitzgerald. He did have some success against the Steelers' pass defense, but I think once they do face Wes Welker, who's going to be the big target in this game, I think the Steelers are going to be fine doing that. I mean, they got to face their tight ends as well, and Ron Gronkowski. But I think Paul Maul, he has to have his standout game of the year. He was a former defensive player of the year. He needs to come out firing this week, and I think he's going to do so.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned that they did an okay job with Larry Fitzgerald. The reason is because Larry Fitzgerald is the only weapon that the Cardinals have. The Steelers are the number 1 pass defense in the NFL, like Cooney said. 5 of the 7 teams they've played, the quarterbacks they've played, Tavares Jackson, Kerry Collins, Matt Hasselbeck, Blaine Gabbert, and Kevin Cobb. The 4 of us could play defensive backs and be the number 1 pass defense against those guys.
You look at those quarterbacks and you say, well, okay, they played those quarterbacks, but after week 1 they played Baltimore. They've had better games after that, but the fact, I mean, they definitely waken up a little bit and played better games.
But the Ravens are the only good team they've played.
But then they've also shown like they can't handle like some of the speed. Like yesterday, Rod Stevens had 65 yards right down the field, and New England has a lot of those speedy guys and Danny Woodhead, Wes Welker. I mean, they tend to go to that, and then once you get down to the goal line, they'll hit the tight ends like they did last year. And we saw how.
Well, yeah, once you get to that second half performance, I think the Steelers need to wake up there. They only scored 62 points this year in the second half, 89 points in the first half. Once they get on the scoreboard in the first half, they got to develop into the second half.
The Steelers are getting outscored in the second half again against teams that are 15-28.
Let's stop it right there. Got to crown a champion. And you know what, guys? I really like the rookie. Has impressed me here.
I liked it too.
He's bringing all the stats. It's what we like to see. Be sure to stick around next time. Chris will defend his title. It's right here on the same Pioneer channel, same Pioneer time. Tune in next week. Big basketball preview. We'll see you next time.
Go Pioneers.